Today in the shop, we're going to be doing a full detail on this Tesla. Customer contacted me and his biggest issue was the interior, which we will get to in just a second, but the exterior was pretty grimy from bugs and tar and road film that had actually started to stain this white paint. We needed to do a really good foaming pre-soak clay bar treatment to try to remove as much of the staining on the paint, because if that is left on too long, it will actually require polishing to remove, which is going to be a lot more expensive for the customer. So for those of you that you're coming out of wintertime, your vehicle has just been through a bad winter and you haven't been able to do a good contact wash, I'm going to share with you guys some tips on how to deep clean your car's exterior. But the interior is where we're going to focus a good bit of our energy. He does have 2 dogs that he loves to transport, and we've got vegan leather that we need to clean, which a lot of times they make you believe that you have to have special products to clean them, but we'll share with you guys some practical products that will give you fantastic results on even vegan leather, as well as some pet hair removal tips. So for those of you that enjoy those really satisfying transformation videos, make sure you watch this video in its entirety, because we're going to share with you guys some tips as well as products that are going to give you fantastic results like we're going to be able to get in this detail. But if you enjoy satisfying transformation videos like this, where we share with you tips on how you can get the same kind of results, would you do me a favor and just make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, because that will help us know what kind of content to continue to make for you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get started with the detail. First up, as always, we're going to start off with our tires, wheels, and wheel wells, get those out of the way so that way we don't have any risk of water spots. We're using Geon Tire and Wheel Cleaner for those surfaces, and Superior Products Dark Fury is going to be the superstar on this exterior for us. This is a great degreaser that goes after road film, tar, bugs. We're going to use this to pre-treat a lot of our surfaces before we come in and do any sort of contact wash, to try to knock down the levels of dirt to make our contact wash safer. Because we've had so much rain the last couple of weeks, there's a ton of dried worms that are splattered on the lower portion of the vehicle. I call them road boogers. They are absolutely disgusting, but you could see water did not budge them much. But after we sprayed everything down, we're going to apply our Dark Fury. You don't want to ideally apply this to a dry panel. It's such a strong cleaner that it can actually stain your paint, or it'll look like it stains it, but wherever it comes in contact with the paint, it will pull so much of the oils and the film out of the paint that you'll actually see kind of an inconsistent appearance. So that's why I always like to pre-spray the panel first with water, just to help dilute it and prevent kind of that ghosting or staining that can occur with this product. I have it diluted at about a 5-to-1 dilution ratio, and you can see after just doing a quick mist with our Dark Fury, what a difference we've been able to make in removing some of that road film that with water alone wouldn't budge. Before we come in to do our contact wash, because there is a heavy amount of tar on this vehicle, we're going to do a liquid tar treatment. We're using Geon Tar. This is a really great solvent-based tar cleaner that it will help break down a lot of that tar to a liquid form, so that way I can come in with a microfiber and just gently wipe it off. So the big chunks of tar we were able to get off, and honestly there's a lot of lubrication with that, and we weren't scrubbing aggressively, we were just kind of gently wiping, but didn't want to really come in and do a contact wash and risk taking all those big chunks of tar in and scraping it over. This has way more lubrication than just soap. So we've got our big chunks of tar off. The little stuff will let our foaming pre-soak kind of help loosen, and if we have to do a follow-up tar treatment, we can. And here's a question for you: what order of the process do you do your tar treatment? Do you do it before your foaming pre-soak, after your foaming pre-soak, after your contact wash, at the very end if there's anything left behind? Do you do it with your clay tile treatment? When do you do tar? Seeing as how so many of those variables can change from one vehicle to the next, I want to hear from you guys down below. What are your thoughts on that? But regardless, we do need to do a bug treatment before we do our foaming pre-soak. We're using Dark Fury for that, and you can see how this really just helps break down a lot of the organic matter from the bugs to make it a lot easier to blast off with our high pressure water. Someone recently asked me if Dark Fury was safe to use on a ceramic coated vehicle, and seeing as how this is a pH of 14, you may not necessarily need a chemical this strong. You could use more of a APC or something like a Green Star from Koshemi that is not as strong. But if you want to use a product like this, it's more ideally suited for a non-coated vehicle or a vehicle that you're looking to apply fresh protection to. Now that our tires and wheels bug and tar treatment are done, we can go ahead and do our foaming pre-soak of our vehicle. Straight from Detail Labs website, Rogue is a highly concentrated pre-wash with high-density active foam and corrosion inhibitor. That's interesting. Its unique formulation was specifically designed to tackle and quickly break down the toughest grease, oil, tar, bugs, and much more without hurting surfaces.
Jesus. It's thick.
As powerful as Rogue can be, it does not contain caustic chemicals, toxic solvents, is phosphate-free, biodegradable, and safe for our planet. That's always good to know. Rogue can also be used as a contactless wash for light to moderately soiled vehicles and provide corrosion inhibitor properties to the treated surfaces. While some aren't a fan of foaming pre-soaks and think they're merely just for show, I do find the benefits in helping to remove a lot of the loose debris to make the contact wash safer. So this was the first time that I've used this product, and to be honest, this was sent to me months and months ago, and this is the first time that I've gotten around to actually using it, so I have no idea if they've updated the formula since they sent it to me. This is safe for ceramic coated vehicles, and honestly, it did a fantastic job of cleaning and doing exactly what foaming pre-soak should do, just kind of melt the dirt right off of the panel versus just kind of sticking there. You want it to pull the dirt with it. It did remove some light bugs, some light tar. I can see the road film is not as heavy, but it did not do 100% of removing all the road film. But again, this is not a coated vehicle. Dirt is going to stick to it. If you have a coated vehicle, it's going to work completely differently. So I think, honestly, it's hard for me to review this on a non-coated vehicle, but as far as foaming soap, it did a fantastic job. Really nice, thick shaving cream foam with very little. You can see I used about 3 ounces of the bottle in our foam cannon, so was really happy with that. Nice lubrication. So as far as a quick review, I'm going to be doing more testing, but would you guys like to see more from this company right here? I do have a few of their products on hand that we're going to be testing, and if any of you have used their products, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But first time using it, I was pretty happy with the soap. Would have liked to have seen it clean some of that road film off a little bit better, but again, non-coated vehicle, it was pretty bad with road film. This was actually one of the dirtier exteriors that I've seen in a while. Not bad. I wouldn't say it's the most potent soap out of there, but if you're looking for a good pre-wash maintenance soap for a ceramic coated vehicle, I would check it out. I'll put the link for it down below. So after the foaming pre-soak and rinse, we're going to do a quick spritz with our soap again and do our contact wash. And this is where I really saw that Rogue soap kind of help remove a bunch of that road film. You can almost see a drastic transformation in the color of this paint. We're also going to do a clay towel treatment to try to remove some of that staining from the road film and any residual tar, bug guts, etc. that might be on the paint, so that way we have silky smooth paint. Shiny paint comes from smooth paint. So this is where you're going to really see our paint just pop. I think this Tesla had about every sort of bonded contaminant you could imagine on the paint, from tar, bug guts, rail dust, artillery fungus that you can actually see me kind of popping the top off with my fingernail. But we were able to fully decontaminate the paint, rinse everything off, dry it off, get our door jambs dried, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with our interior vacuuming. Teslas are just notorious for having really poor quality interior materials. Their carpets are not the best to work with. Their plastics scratch easily, so we're using a stiff detailing brush to kind of help pull up a lot of the deeper dirt, and the aniline pet hair brush to try to pull up some of the short hair pet hair that we're working with. So that way we can easily vacuum everything up. And because the finishes are so sensitive, we're using a soft bristle chemical resistant brush from the Work Stuff, so that way we don't scratch any of the finishes while we are going over them. I like to dust while I vacuum, so that way when it comes time to actually cleaning all of our hard surfaces, All I have to do is actually clean anything that's stuck on or stained on our leather seats. But you can see there's so much paw prints and slobber all over these vegan leather seats that I'm actually a little concerned that we might have some staining, because they can be a little bit more on the sensitive side than your typical pleather that you see in other vehicles. So we'll have to figure out what cleaners are going to work in this situation, but we have so much pet hair in all the seams of the seats that you really want to make sure that you pull those seams back when you're vacuuming, so that way your cleaning step will be a lot easier. For those carpeted surfaces that are flat, we're going to use our hammerhead pet hair attachment brush from Fur-Il. This is going to help us rapidly remove a lot of that pet hair. For those of you with pets and you're working maybe inside your house or larger surfaces of your vehicle, maybe the backs of the seats, it's a great attachment to have to give your vacuum the power to pull up the hair and vacuum it up simultaneously. And then for the rest of our carpets, to pull up all of our pet hair, we're using the aniline pet hair brush. This actually has 3 different sized teeth surrounding the triangle that will allow you to go after different lengths of hair. It's a really cool tool. You can purchase this over at Amazon. All the products that I'm using, we will put the links for them down below, but it's definitely a great tool to use for interior detailing and around the house. Our mats aren't in bad shape, but because we have pets and who knows what might be on them, we're going to use an enzyme cleaner from Superior Products. This is their Does It All enzyme cleaner. You can use this on plastics as well as upholstery, but this will just help lift any sort of soiling and, again, who knows what. And if there are any sort of odor-causing bacteria elements in our upholstery, this will help kind of reset some of the odor that might be going on the interior. Definitely has kind of a pet smell, if you know what I mean, on the interior. So this will just help make things nice and fresh and clean. So now we need to go ahead and address the biggest issue on this interior, and that is the vegan leather seats, especially on the back seat. From the slobber and the mud, they had done a lot of damage to the seats. Now, actually off camera, I did test 2 specific products that were designed for vegan leather seats from Geist, and I wasn't a huge fan of how they appeared on these seats. So we used my favorite, McKee's 37, their 70/30 leather shampoo, and personally I think it did a better job of cleaning our seats, and I also think it left behind a better, more consistent appearance. But these seats were definitely a little bit more on the sensitive side, and so for those of you that might struggle, you can try the vegan leather cleaners, but personally I find a product like this might work a little bit better. Plus it smells fantastic. This interior did have a funky odor, so I was trying to go after products that would help just leave behind a nice fresh scent. Now we are on the home stretch. All we really need to do is deep clean our plastics, and for that we're going to use Green Star from Koshemi at about a 10-to-1 dilution ratio. Sometimes people use plastic cleaners that are too strong that could actually burn the plastic, so we're using a product that is more on the safe side, so that way we don't potentially damage our plastics, but it's strong enough to remove a lot of the stuck on grime from the slobber, etc. Off camera, we cleaned all of our glass as well as applied our protection on the exterior, and I'll share with you guys what my favorite protection is on white paint. But here is the finished result of our interior detail. We were able to extract all of our carpets, deep clean all of our vegan leather seats. It smells a world better on this interior. The customer was ecstatic with the end result, but I was blown away by how we were able to just bring such depth and almost a wetness to this white paint. We were using ceramic slam from Lithium. It is my favorite sealant to apply to light colored vehicles. It just makes the paint pop. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this transformation detail, and if you want to try any of the products that we used in this detail, we'll put the links as well as any coupon codes available in the video description box down below. But give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and if you learned anything new, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in the very next detail.